All right, everybody, this is Sheets, and we're going to continue on our uh, uh, lineup build for DGen Saturday, which, as you might recall, involves baseball, basketball, Infinity Racing, NASCAR Cup Series racing, and that's going to run those back if that wasn't enough for you on Sunday also, and MMA. So, not to mention, I'm playing 18 holes of golf tomorrow, so it's a lot going on in Sheets world. But I did want to put out my preview of the MMA card for the evening. And one thing I will say is that one thing I was not expecting in the MMA world when I started playing this stuff is so many fights getting canceled. I guess COVID has a lot to do with it, but it's a little annoying, I have to say. So I'm actually going to have to check and double check and make sure that some of these plays are actually going off. And I'll be back hopefully in time for the first fight. So we'll just kind of see what happens. So again, the process for this slate is going to be very similar to where it has been. We're going to be looking for fighters who, number one, are big favorites. What a surprise. Number two, we're looking for fights that can finish early, because obviously you get a lot of points for finishing early. And we're going to look for, decent underdogs, and hopefully all of that without anything being that highly owned. So nice work if you can get it. So let's take a look at some of these dudes and gals and see what we got. So first of all, in the main event, let's look at that one first. Again, a 5-round fight, very difficult to fade 5-round fight, and you have just so much opportunity for volume and for points. Munoz and Edgar, I have no particular lean either way. When I say that, I mean that the 250 is probably a fair price. So, I really don't have an opinion on which one of them I like more. So I'll probably end up having to play both of them. But I have no reason to think that Edgar has any edge over the plus 220. So that's just the way it's going to be. No real opinion, except you probably have to play the fight. The other things, again, we're going to look for are fights that have these over-under rounds of either 2.5 with a, near pick'em or better, or a 1.5. So like the first one I just kind of look at here is, you don't see this too often. I mean, maybe a 1 or 2 each card is you have a pick'em for it to go under 1.5 rounds, which means that it rates to be just about a pick'em to finish in the first round. So these are the fights that you want. And the thing is that it's about a pick'em. So, you probably want to take both sides unless there's some other reason why you shouldn't. So the first thing I like to do is look at the ownership, and I'm staring off at an ownership list I have to my right, which you cannot see. And I see that Menifield's about 25%, and St. Peru is about 20%. So it's similar, no real standout with respect to value, to a lean. So you probably should play them both, and this is just me. Look at any kind of an edge. I heard a lot of people talk about OSP, and when a guy has a nickname, when they were that familiar with him, they call him OSP. Probably is going to be owned a little more than this year. So that's, again, nothing really data driven about that, but just in my 53 years of living, I just kind of learned that the fights, teams, whatever it is with cool nicknames tend to be a little bit too popular in general. So just even on that, I'll lean Menefield, never having seen either of them fight. So moving on. This next one, Prachino Rodriguez. This is, again, it's a great fight because it's an over-under of 1.5 rounds. And let's see if there's a big amount of ownership difference between these two, between Rodriguez and Prachnio. So, now this is the Mike Rodriguez. Mike Rodriguez about 25%, and Prachnio, where is Prachnio on my list? Did he drop out? That would be a little bit annoying. No, he's really low owned, like 10%. So he might actually be a pretty live dog here at 7,300. So he's going to make my list of kind of live dogs because he's only a 2-to-1 underdog. Then again, it's not that much different than Edgar, right? So Edgar, he is a 220 underdog, and he is 31% owned. But then again, he waits to get more volume because of a 5-round fight. So I guess it's not that big of a deal. But I think Prachnio is kind of live just because it's an over-under 1.5. So it does rate to finish early. So, well, why can't he be the one to finish it early? Next one, Agapova Dobson, 14-to-1 favorite. Rating to probably – so now here's the thing that's so this is actually favored to end in the first round, right, by like 150 to 140. But here's the thing. If it doesn't finish in the first round, there's really no way that she could be on the winning lineup, right? I mean, at 9,300 at 65% ownership, which is what I'm looking at here. So what you're saying is that, or what I'm saying is that about 45% of the time, this fight goes longer than one round. And as a result, 45% of the time, lineups with her in it do not win the tournament. And if she's 65% owned, it, to me, means it's a fade. Now, there's a little bit of fishiness with that math and logic, but it's not that bad. I don't have time to get into it right now. But, however, it's good enough for me to presume that it's supposed to fade this fight. And I'm not saying you have to play Dobson, but just, it'll be fun. It'd be like Bugs Bunny, trying to like run away from the terror for like a round. As long as you can get to the second round, you've probably done well not playing it. So that's what you're going to root for in that fight. I kind of like that idea. Well, we'll see. Here's another one with well, this one's not quite as good. So let's get back to that one. Let's try to find another one with a 1.5. And here you go. So Jordan Wright against Ike Villanova. This is another one which you have a pick'em, and it rates to finish early. So the price is $7,900 for Wright and $8,200 for Villanova. So you'd think that Wright would be a little bit more popular, but he's got twice the ownership, which to me doesn't make any sense. It makes sense in as much as that he's 7,900 compared to the 8,200 of Villanova, and they're just basically pick him Villanueva. Sorry. So for me, I'll just take Villanueva, right? So that'll be my main build. Is I'll take Villanueva and just take the ownership discount. Okay, so moving back, there's nothing on this Valiev fight as far as a rounds prop that I could find. So he is a 5-to-1 favorite. And I think it's the first fight of the night. He's 9,100, and it's a very low-level fight. I don't know if I can do it. I'm definitely going to put him on my list, but I just think there are better options maybe at 9,100. Let's talk about some of those. So those were the main like sub 2.5 round fights, but let's see some of these other big favorites that we might be missing. We went over Agapova. I guess Valia was the only one, the guy that were really missing. Right? We talked about pretty much all the other guys. Now, Daniel Rodriguez, so that fight was canceled, the Danny Rodriguez fight. Let's just make sure. Let's just see which Rodriguez. No, he's fighting Grant. Sorry. So he's fighting. So he is fighting. Do we have our line? I'm going to get my the other thing up here. Let's do this. This one's actually a good site. So let's take a look and see. See, they still have him going in Sato, and Sato is out. Who's replaced with? Oh, but now it's Daniel Rogers. Okay, Rodriguez and Grant. So let's take a look and see the prop there. It's really not that appealing a fight. So I'm probably not going to take anybody from there. The other fight that I wanted to talk about for a minute is this Lemos Inoue fight. I think this one could be somewhat interesting. I think Lemos is actually kind of a live underdog. So you want to put her in kind of that live underdog list. And the other one that I think is a live underdog is where was he? He's gone again. He literally get coronavirus as I was just. Oh, Semmelsberger. He's a Semmelsberger is decent underdog. So we're going to see if we need them. We're going to we're going to use Semmelsberger, and we're going to use Lemos. But hopefully we could just use those quick fights. But I don't think we're going to be able to. So let's take a look. So we liked Munoz in the Edgar fight. We liked Manafield. Let's get rid of this Grant thing. Let's get rid of this thing. So right Villanueva, what did we say? We said we liked Villanueva, right? So let's put Villanueva in. Oh, am I spelling it wrong? I can't even find him. Did he got coronavirus literally in the middle of this video? Oh, there he is. Spelled with an A. Okay. Ooh, pain in the neck. All right, so you get three of these guys in here already that I like: the Manafield, Villanueva, and Munoz. And then with 8,100, again, we don't want to play Agapova anyway, which is nice. So 8,100 a person. So Prachnio Rodriguez, that was one that we looked at. Can we afford to play the favorite? Can we afford to play Rodriguez against Prachnio? First, we got to find it on the board. See, if we play him at 8,900, now we have 7,800 per fighter left. And then if we do that, then we have to go into here. So Semmelsberger, 7,700. And then, I don't know why they list and Lemos. So you could do that. So you take two small underdogs. We'll let you take, and then you can get the other guys that you want. So this is not an easy card, right? It didn't exactly load up with locks here. I faded the top favorite on the slate, the Agapova, and the second top favorite on the slate, that being Valia. So this is already going to be pretty different. So not that this is any lock lineup or anything like that, but at least I'm able to get what I want, right? So I got Munoz, I got Villanueva, I got this. So let's do this. Why don't we save this, okay? And then let's see if just one other build. Let's see what we can come up with. So let's just say that we put Edgar in. Certainly fine. If we did that, then do we need to then play those underdogs? Probably not, right? So let's just take a look at some of these other favorites that we talked about a little bit. So let's say, can you play Valiev at 9,100? You could. You can play Valiev at 9,100. So you're going to be playing two underdogs anyway, because now you're back to playing Selmesberger again. I mean, that's to presume you can't play any of these other guys, but these are the fights that we kind of targeted. So that's really the way I want to go. So this build again, it allows us to get Valiev, who's like a huge favorite, and gives us Edgar as an underdog instead of Lemus. What was interesting about Lemos is that I don't think she's won any fight that she hasn't finished, which is what I kind of like to see. So let's just assign these lineups for now, and then we'll obviously tweak them around a little bit as we get closer. That's pretty much wraps up my thoughts. Just to kind of review, the underdogs I kind of like is the Semmelsberger and what's his name? The in the main, Edgar is pretty good, and Lemos, whatever. And the fights you want to target again are Villanova, right? And I'm going to get a little bit of both. If you can afford the Akampura, Rav Akampura, no, Agaspoka, something or other. Great, you can play her, but I think I'm going to fade her at 65% ownership. Just to try to just hope that it doesn't get to the second round, and I hope it gets to the second round, and that I win my other fights. So definitely not easy. And then this Mennefield OSP fight. I'm going to get a little bit of both sides, and that's pretty much it. What else did I kind of look at? I guess that's pretty much all I have for you guys for the MMA slate. I don't know how much you're going to play NASCAR, Infinity, Cup Series, basketball, baseball, all kinds of DFS out there. And I want to just let you know exactly what I'm doing. And hopefully you guys do well. Have a good Saturday, and you'll probably hear from me for Sunday also.